Kia ora, I'm Elvie and welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the Core Mini Intensity set by Golden. I bought the set on Amazon for I think $62 New Zealand and it arrived. Got this beautiful opening. It's kind of quite a fun case and yeah, thought we'd review it here. It's quite a cute container. This is the half pan set, so there are tubed sets by Core as well, but I wanted to try their half pans out. So this is the opening, and then it comes with a pamphlet of the colours available. Some beautiful looking colours, and then we get a swatching card. Oh no. So they're not poured into the tubes, as you can see. They do come out. They'll stick with water to the half pans. But it also came with this sheet over top to protect the half pans. If I bring it closer to you, you can see that you're also given 6 extra half pans down here that you can fill with your own paint. There is a 24 half pan set, but yeah, it comes with they label it ABCD down here in correlation with the swatch card, and this is, I believe, silicone, so I don't know how that will be as a mixing area, but it is interesting and different. And this has circular mixing wells, but it doesn't seem to lay flat, which is a shame. Hopefully that will change with time, but overall it looks very pretty, and it's a nice refreshing change from the standard 12 set. Now, Core watercolours are known for their flowiness on the page, so I'm gonna lay down a thing of water first, so you can see how well they bloom when placed into a wet wash. So this first colour is Hansa Yellow Light. You can see it instantly blooming, and it just loves the water on the page. So bit of a different swatching tactic for this paint, but that is a beautiful cool yellow, very versatile as you'd expect. Now I will be swatching in a different order, so I'll go straight onto the quinacridone magenta, and that's just so that the water doesn't bleed into each other. My goodness, that's beautiful. It's because of Core has these, like, I think it's synthetic oxgol in their watercolors, so it makes it do this beautiful thing on the paper. So I'm actually just going to let it sit like that, and it's a very vibrant colour as well, which is stunning. Next, I'll be swatching the Cerulean Blue Chrome, which is a very interesting sounding colour, and it's a little out from its half pan, but we'll see. It doesn't dance around as much. It does bloom still, but not as drastic as the previous colour. This is more leaning towards a warm blue, but it is beautiful, and I suspect this one might granulate, but we'll find out as it dries. I'll do an extra strip of a very intense layer once these dry, which will take a little while, but I'll let these dry and then we can go on to the next 3. Waited a surprisingly significant amount of time waiting for them to dry. They're still not 100% dry, but we'll go in with the next colours. I've got some water on there, although they don't really need the pre-wetting thing. They look, so far they've been very vibrant without it. But the next colour is the transparent pyrrole orange, which is a pretty interesting one. I guess this will be our orange of the set. Ooh. that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to do the water thing. We'll put some water down over here and see. Oh, it immediately blooms. This one is very, very strong and vibrant. I feel like this one was very good at blooming, and I wish I did it right so you guys could have seen it. Look at that, that's stunning. So vivid. Next will be the phthalo turquoise. So this time I'll put the water down first. I'll do this one right. Knowing my luck, it won't be the interesting one. There we go. Ooh, they exploded. That's so cool. And it's vibrant. It's so beautiful. It's an interesting colour. You don't tend to get this colour in a limited set. I guess you wouldn't get this orange either. So it's so stunning. This last colour is dioxazine purple, which is, I guess, the dark of the set, as well as a purple, which you don't, again, 6 colour set, you don't tend to get this one, which is quite interesting. So I'll grab a little bit. You can see my brush is loaded with only a little dab. Oh, boom. Oh my goodness, this one just like wants to be on this piece of paper. Oh my goodness, that is stunning. And this is like huge amount of water on the page, so barely any pigment. I wonder how dark it can get. So yeah, damn, that's the first initial swatching. Okay, so off camera I actually did a swatch on the card given. They're still drying, but you can see how they look flat without having the water down first. This one, as I suspected, does have a very slight granulation to it, and this one dries very interestingly. It's really beautiful. They all look incredible. But I guess we'll be going on to painting now. I've got a little landscape down here. I'm not sure how well it will go with these kind of paints because they are very vivid, so it'll be interesting to see how controllable they are when it comes to painting. So I guess away we go. I won't probably film it all on camera just because it'll probably take me a little while. I don't know how these silicone things are going to work for mixing, so that should be fun to test. I'm going to mix a couple of the blues together for the sky. It feels very interesting to mix on, like quite rigid, like it doesn't slide or glide along the surface. It just kind of is very stagnant, but it's interesting. And I feel like being exposed to different mixing surfaces is quite fun because you see why you like the ones you like, or maybe you do enjoy this new surface mixing area. But kind of just lots of water down. This is the beautiful sky. I'll try not to touch those paints, otherwise they'll bloom into this painting. Beautiful. There's actually another set by Core. There's a few half pan sets by them. I didn't realize because they usually only advertise the tubed ones where it comes with 6 tubes of paint, but they do have this is so interesting to mix because I touched the top of the paint and I already described too much paint. But this one's a little bit harder to re-wet, this one. But hard to re-wet for these is like, it's normal to re-wet. But yeah, this was the one I ended up choosing. But there was one with a couple cobalt colours, which looked very interesting. But I wasn't sold on it. I was more drawn towards these more unique colours, especially the pyrrole orange. That looked just stunning, and I couldn't help myself. And then there's a pearlescent set, I believe, by them. I saw on Amazon, and there's a 24 half pan set by them as well. And the one that I'm eyeing up at the moment that I completely missed when I bought this set was a granulating 6 half pan set, which, you know me and granulating, we're like best friends. So I saw that and I was like, maybe I will have to get another set if I like these half pans enough. And so far they are stunning. They're so easy to use, and you only a little bit goes a long way with them, which is very good. And the tin is just so interesting, so I'm really raving about them at the moment. But I guess that's the joys of the first impression. You get really hyped up over the little things, and then as you actually use it, you're like, okay, this isn't as good as I thought it would be. Look at that green. That's so beautiful. It's such a clean green. Oh, that's stunning. Okay. Let's get on to some more painting, I suppose. Oh, that's almost too intense. I need it a little bit dulled down. My goodness, I love it. That's so... I guess the thing with the blooming is that it's hard to control where the paints go, especially if you're doing like wet on wet kind of paintings. But I guess that's part of it. It's like very loose and fluid, and you can't really control it, which is quite fun if you've used watercolors a bit before, but it can be a little bit daunting if you're new with watercolor and you trying to figure out how watercolor works, and then also trying to figure out how this particular watercolor works. That's quite a lot to learn all at once, so that's something to keep in mind if you're new to watercolor. These are a bit difficult to use, I would feel, but they are just so stunning. I'll come back to you guys in a little bit. I'll do a little painting off camera and I'll be back with you. So, actually, I'm sorry about the shakiness, but I found out where the pigment information and light fastness is. It's actually on the back of the palette. So, it does have that information on the palette. I was wondering that, and it does, which is really good. So, that's there if you're curious. So back with the update. The actual painting itself has dried. I ended up just doing it off camera because it was easier. I was in the mode, in the zone, sorry. And I just found it easier to do that way. We've still got 3 swatches here that aren't actually dry, so I haven't done my second coat over them for the true intensity yet. But they were lovely to use. I had to be a little careful because I picked up too much colour from the half bands, and I was originally just using these 3 mixing areas, but then I rearranged and I started using this side. It did stick up, but I found if I just pushed it down very lightly, it would bend the rod connecting it in here so that it does now lay flat, which is really nice. So like that. So now no issues there, and I honestly enjoy this kind of mixing area. It allows me to mix different mixtures in the round wells, and it's not like a harsh border like this. I can easily mix some colour into it and then so on and so forth. So yeah, I had no problems with these colours apart from I found it a little difficult to muddy up the colours, which is quite funny, just because they were so intense and so bright and saturated. It was a little bit of a challenge to muddy them up and get my greys. And with this colour selection, I'm not used to not having my standard colours that I use for mixing, and this one I suspect has a bit of white in it, because it didn't, when I used it in like a dark mixture, it would make it go grey, which is interesting. So that colour right there is not my favourite, and that one also, I don't know, this colour I think is the only one I have like, not sure how I feel about that. But apart from that, they're all stunning, and even that one itself is a beautiful colour. And I did my little cat up here. I carved a little stamp out of an eraser, which is quite fun. and I just use it in the watercolors that I'm using and stamp it on the page now. It's quite fun. But I haven't decided what colours I want in here yet. I'm thinking if I do get that granulating set, I might combine these two because I feel like it would be a nice range of colours with the two sets. I have added a little bit of a core, like I think it's chrome oxide green or something like that. It's quite a nice green, and it does have some granulation to it as well. I didn't use it in painting, but I added it after the fact. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for these three to dry, and I will do the second layer over top with you guys. While I'm at it, I'll show you this one, which I did just while I was waiting for it to dry, where I sprayed the page with water, and I dabbed the pigment watercolors onto the page to see how much they bloomed, and it was so stunning. They're just magical paints. This one of course doesn't bloom as much as you can kind of see. The orange did amazing. They just bloom around the page. It's so pretty. But that was all. Okay, back to it. We are doing the final little line over top of the paints. Beautiful. This one's on the more opaque side of things. Then we have the pyrrole orange. Maybe I'll do that one here. Yeah, this one's much more transparent. Stunning still. Okay, then we have quinacridone magenta. So beautiful. Then phthalo turquoise. This one's also quite transparent, same with the quinacridone magenta. Next is the cerulean blue chrome. I was trying to read it, I couldn't read it. So this is similar to the yellow, it's on the more opaque side. And then we finally have the dioxazine purple. Gonna need a bit of water for this. Stunning. Very deep, beautiful purple. So I'll give you a close up at the colours. They look stunning, and you can see the painting itself, how it turned out, and the colours. And then I'll give you a close-up at the palette. I did clean it to see if it would stain. I know it's only the first time use, but there isn't really any staining. These ones are a little bit more difficult to clean, and they do go, I don't know if you can see, if I focus it, they do slant inwards, not flat, so they, I assume, would be more used for large washes of colours rather than lots of little mixtures, and this would be more for little mixtures. And yeah, no staining here. I just didn't clean it that great. This little logo thing is a little frustrating because watercolour does get caught in there, but apart from that, no issues. And I'm excited to continue to use this set. Once I've used it for a substantial amount of time, I'll give you guys an update and let you know my final thoughts on the set. So till then, I hope you guys enjoyed, found this useful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.